Today we're going to put the engine back in the frame. I've already done a video about how to take the engine out, so I don't know if you need this video, but I will do it anyway. Because now I've been doing all the things that I was supposed to do with the engine out. I have mounted this Paulini Venturi air filter kit. I've been doing some work to the carburetor. I have removed the starter motor. I've been putting on this Paulini ignition system here. So now I will put the engine back, and then I have some work to do on it when it's in place. I'm going to make a lid for this hole. We're going to change the gearbox oil. We're going to set the ignition timing and some other small things, but I can do that with the engine in place. So in this video I will show you how to put the engine back in, if that's something that you're interested of. You remember how the engine looked when I took it out? It was very dirty and greasy. I think it looks a lot better now. So I think that's a good reason to take it out once in a while to give it a good thorough clean. But now it's going back in place again. Now I have the engine here on the floor, and we're going to put in this tap here. So put the engine in place there and put that in. So tack. So now that's through and I can fix the nut. So now that we fitted this shaft, we go back here and we'll get the rear shock absorber into the engine here. We're going to start with putting the gear wires back, and since there are two wires, it's good to know which one was on which side. So in my case I left this one here, so this wire goes there and this wire goes here. So now the wires are back on. I'm not going to put the lid back on yet because I'm going to check that the gears are the wires are properly in place so the gears line up. But I have to mount the clutch wire first. So that's this one.
Vi hade bytt, men fan händer så händer det. Det går ju komma hem, det har jag provat, men det är enklare om man kunde bara...
We can also put the wire for the brake back in here. The rear brake, I should say. So now I will try to put the fuel hose back into the carburetor house.
Du får flytta runt den vart du ska sen om du ska greja.
Det är lugnt. And we have these. You can put the oil hose back. the wire for the throttle goes in here, I hope. So. Then we have the wire for the choke. Now everything in the carburetor is done. Now I'm going to do the wiring. And since the starter motor is removed, I don't need this cable for it. So I'm just gonna bend that backwards and isolate it here. Otherwise I had to pull it down here to the starter motor starter. So all the wires comes up here, and we have this in here for ground, and the other one goes to this junction box. So as you can see here now, from the CDI box the blue cable comes up here and is fitted into the blue one here, down to the stator, and up to the green one, blue and green, and the blue from the harness goes in with the white to the stator, and this black one from the harness is not going to be used anymore. And then we have one black here that goes to earth here, and one black here from the stator that goes to earth there. That's the wiring for the Polini system. Now all the wiring is in place. And for you that don't have the Polini Venturi air filter, you have this hose that you put between here and here. It's just to fix it there, no problem. And then it's just to put the lid back on the carburetor housing. And then everything is in place. I usually take some oil in the gas tank when I start it up, because it can take a while before the oil comes down in the oil pump, and everything can be some air bubbles and so it's better to be safe than sorry. So I put some oil in the fuel tank. That's how you put the engine back in place.